Hi, my name's Christy. Thanks for joining me. I've titled this video, The Thinking Person's Guide to Drinking. So I'm going to take a few minutes to talk about how we can mitigate the harmful effects of alcohol through the choices we make. So let's break this down a little bit. Alcohol, unfortunately, is not good for us. It does cause damage and it causes aging. So the liver will break down alcohol into aldehyde, and that's one of the most harmful toxins of alcohol. Now, many times alcohol will also contain what's called ochratoxin A. And ochratoxin A is common in foods such as coffee and chocolate and wine and beer. The ochratoxin A is a mold toxin. So it has been linked to liver damage. It's also been considered a possible carcinogen, and it suppresses your immune system. So staying away from foods and drinks that contain ochratoxin A can take you a long way to improving your health through the choices you're making. So also alcohol, let's talk a couple more things about the detrimental effects of alcohol. It will disturb sleep. So keep that in mind. Also, often we'll add sugar, perhaps to cocktails, and many wines have a high sugar content. So that sugar content is also going to affect our blood glucose levels or our blood sugar levels. So let's talk about what can we do? What are the choices we can make? Now, if you're a beer drinker, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to have a lot of good news for you. Beer would be probably my last resort choice. And here's the reason why. Is because beer many times contains the ochratoxin A that I just spoke about. It also typically contains gluten and yeast. So if you're going to have a beer, maybe at least get the gluten-free beer. Now, another choice would be wine. And so if you're choosing wine, again, wine often will contain ochratoxin A. And there are many wines that have a higher sugar content. So if I'm at a restaurant and I'm choosing a wine from the menu, many times I'll look for the European wines. Europe does a better job than the USA of regulating substances such as ochratoxin A and pesticides. So you'll get a less load of those things if you're choosing wines from Europe. So look for the wines from Europe. If you can find a wine with a yellow label, those wines were designated for drinking in Europe and also designated for a higher standard. So that would be another bonus. They're hard to come from because typically the wines with the yellow band aren't exported. They're the ones that Europe keeps for themselves. So look for organic, look for European wines, perhaps even look for a dry farm wine, which means that the grapes haven't been irrigated, which then stresses the grape plants. So any plant that has some stress, goes under some stress, is going to increase its antioxidants and its polyphenols. So you're going to have a higher content of antioxidants and polyphenols in the wines that have been dry farmed. Pinot Noir grape also has a higher content specifically of resveratrol. So a Pinot Noir might be a good choice. Now, here's a caveat to that, and that is we may have heard resveratrol is a master antioxidant. It's very good for us, and we want to include that in our diet. However, the amount of resveratrol in wine isn't much. It's minimal at best. So you would have to drink a case of wine a day to get any beneficial amounts of resveratrol. Now, that could be considered bad news or good news depending on how you look at it. So just keep in mind, look for those wines, dry farmed, organic, European, that's it. And those could be red, those could be white. Dry white wine is a great option. So now let's talk about cocktails. Often cocktails will add simple syrups to them, perhaps even other types of syrups. So if you can get a cocktail that doesn't include any added simple syrups to it, so perhaps like a martini. A martini would be a great choice. A gin and bitters is a good choice. Bitters are excellent for helping our body produce bile. So if you can incorporate bitters into your cocktail, that's a plus. Also, if you're looking at, let's say, a gin and tonic, try to get a tonic that doesn't have a lot of sugar. Now, I'm going to give you a couple suggestions, things that I do. Now, you can take it or leave it, and I have no affiliation to any of these products. I'm just going to show you because I like them. So I will use a Fever Tree tonic. I like this. This is the refreshingly light Fever Tree tonic. You're going to get about 4 grams of sugar if you use half this bottle, and usually I'll use just half. I won't use the entire bottle. So I think this is a great option for your gin and tonic. Also, this is unique, but this is Fernet. And Fernet during Prohibition was not outlawed. It was allowed during Prohibition. You could get it in pharmacies because of its medicinal purposes. So if you're interested in trying something new, it is a unique taste. It may take a little bit of a learning curve to acquire that taste, but it could be an option, and I think it might be a good alternative to maybe some other alcohols. So give it a try if you're adventurous. Then you can also look for alcohol alternatives, so such as kava. Now, I was really curious about this, so I bought some, and I bought the powdered kind. You make a drink out of this powdered type of kava. It's like a shot, so you get a little shot. It is awful, really. It tastes like pond water. I will probably never use this because it tastes so bad. So after experimenting with that, I heard about these little kava extract. So this certainly is palatable. What kava does, it gives you a very focused feeling. So a slightly altered state like alcohol will, but it does not impair your motor abilities. So you get a more focused, clear, centered feeling, and even relaxed. It gives you takes that edge off. So it could be an alternative to alcohol without impairing motor abilities. So maybe it's something you're curious about and you want to try. Actually, one more thing. This is called Monday Gin. This is a non-alcoholic gin. I don't think it's a replacement, but if you're not drinking, if you're the designated driver, you could make a gin and tonic with this alcoholic gin, and then it gives you something fun and tasteful to drink other than just water. So it's a great alternative again to alcohol and for those non-drinkers. Now, what can we do regarding supplements to mitigate the effects of alcohol? There's a few things that I do. I'll tell you what I do, and then you can experiment on your own. But one of the things that I'll do is I will take a glutathione. So a glutathione is a master antioxidant, and when we drink alcohol, it depletes the amount of glutathione in our liver. So we want to boost that up. Again, I'm not affiliated with this brand. I'm simply going to show you what I use. So this is a liposomal glutathione, and that's what I would recommend, is get the liposomal. It'll be more readily bioavailable. Now, at the end of the evening, I will take a couple of these charcoal capsules. So the charcoal capsules will bind to toxins. So this may help you feel great the next day, or even if you don't feel any harmful effects from alcohol, it's going to just be an improvement. So a couple other things you could do: boost your vitamin C levels, and for sure hydrate. Drink lots of water. Drink sparkling water, drink regular water, drink coconut water, preferably actually from the coconut. That's the most hydrating, coconut water. But do drink water. Do drink some type of water throughout the evening. So one more tip I'm going to share with you. This is a book I got. It's called The Thinking Girl's Guide to Drinking. It was really fantastic. You see, I loved it. I've got it, all these pages marked. It gives you a lot of ideas regarding recipes for cocktails, and even for mocktails. So it's a great book. It doesn't cost a lot, so you may want to check that out. You could get it on Amazon. So I've got one last thing I'll show, and that is this infographic. So this is one of the infographics that I think does a fantastic job of putting everything in one spot. So you can get just a close glance at what do I want to choose. So my website is wiseandwell.org, wiseandwell.org. You're welcome to message me through the website. I'll send you some notes on the things I talked about in this video. I'll send you this infographic regarding what alcohols to choose. And just say hi. Let me know if you enjoyed this video and your comments. So from here, again, check out my website, wiseandwell.org. I truly hope that you enjoyed this video and that it was worth your time. Thanks a lot for watching.